Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing my first Best in Beauty of 2018, and I decided to break this down into 7 different categories. I told you guys I was just gonna do like 3 different videos, like on my drugstore favorites, high-end favorites, and like tools, like makeup tool favorites, but I got inspiration from Emily Noel to break it down further, because once I started gathering all of my favorites together, it was so much that if I was to put that in one video, we would be here for probably an hour and a half. And I don't think any of you guys want to be sitting here for an hour and a half. I'm going to be posting a new video every day this week. So I decided to call this Best in Beauty Week. This first video is going to be on my best in beauty for skincare and makeup tools. I was actually pretty consistent on the skincare products that I used. I really didn't change it up too much. And you guys will see a trend of what brand that I like the skincare products the most. For my daytime skincare routine, usually when I wake up in the morning, I'll just splash some warm water on my face. I don't normally use soap. I just find that if I use soap on my face every morning and night, it's just too much. It dries my skin out too much. For my everyday face moisturizer, I use the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer, and this is for sensitive skin. If you guys watch my tutorials and videos, you all know that this is like my holy grail daytime face moisturizer. I use it every single day and I just love it. It's so good for sensitive skin. It is not too heavy or greasy. Like, it has the right amount of moisture. I feel like it's good for all skin types. And then after I apply that, then I use my sunscreen. And I try to use sunscreen every single day, because regardless if you're going outside, or if maybe when you go to the work, maybe if you go to work in the morning and it's dark, and when you come home it's dark, you think that you don't need sunscreen, but you should always wear it. It's a good protection against damaging sun rays that's gonna give you age spots or premature wrinkles. This is my favorite. This is the Biore UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence in SPF 50+. Now, this sunscreen is made and sewed in Japan, and so I have to order this off of Amazon, but I promise you, this is the best face sunscreen that you will ever use. A lot of sunscreens I cannot use underneath foundations because they are too greasy and they break down the foundation. Like, they make it, you know, break up and make the foundation not last very long. And I'm not an oily skinned person. I'm mostly normal, slightly dry, and you know, I can't really wear most sunscreens under foundations. It just feels too heavy, too greasy, but this does not. It is so lightweight. It is a gel sunscreen, and I've tried some others like from Neutrogena and stuff with their Hydro Boost line, but nothing compares to this. Like the Neutrogena Hydro Boost gel cream, I think they have one that's got like SPF 15 or something. That stuff is pretty comparable, but it only has a SPF 15, where this has a SPF 50. And then for my under eye cream, so for most of the year, I didn't really have an under eye cream, and towards the end of this year, my under eyes just got so dry. I felt like over here in the corners, whenever I would go to blend out my concealer, it just would look cakey there because my eyes were just dry. It wouldn't matter if I put, like, you know, my face cream around my eyes, it just wasn't enough. So I ended up getting this Eye Duty Triple Remedy AM Gel Cream from First Aid Beauty, and this stuff is not irritating on the under eyes. Like, a lot of under eye creams are too strong and harsh, and they end up giving me like a little like skin reaction, like where I'll get a rash or something, and I can't use a lot of under eye creams, but this one does not do that at all. It's formulated once again for sensitive skin. Pretty much all of their skincare line is good for sensitive skin, but they have certain lines that are really geared towards sensitive skin, and this is one of those. Once again, it's just a gel, and it is just so moisturizing, and it just feels so good and hydrating on the under eye area. Now, if you don't have super dry under eyes, it might be too heavy and creamy, but if you have dry under eyes, I think you will really enjoy that. And I don't have any issues with it, like making my concealers crease or anything like that. I like to moisturize my lips, like just to prime them while I'm doing like my foundation and eyeshadow and all that. And these two products I use the most, and I absolutely love these for lip conditioners. This is the Emile Cordon Cashmere On like lip butter stuff. I don't know the exact name for it because it just says Emile Cordon on here, and it just says the world's finest lip pot. But this stuff feels so luxurious on your lips. It is super moisturizing. I mean, I do like the Milani Keep It Smooth lip treatment, but honestly, this is better than that. Like, it's just even more moisturizing, and I love this stuff. I've had this for over a year and I still haven't used it up yet. Granted, I don't use it every single day because sometimes I forget to use it, but I love that. And then this Neutrogena Moisture Shine Lip Soother. I also love this too. This is also very moisturizing. This is a little more lightweight than the Emile Cordon Cashmere lip butter thing. Don't you love like my technical terms for stuff? Okay, so that is my daytime skincare routine. Now in the evenings, for my cleanser, I either use the Dove Beauty Bar for sensitive skin, or I like to use the First Day Beauty Pure Skin Face Cleanser. So I kind of go back and forth between these two. You know, sometimes I'll just use the bar soap, sometimes I'll use this. Neither one are irritating, so sometimes I just like to use this because it's cheaper. So, you know, if I'm starting to run low on this, I'll use this. And this also works great with the Clarisonic. And I still use my Clarisonic from time to time, but honestly, this year I didn't really use it that much. I just was lazy and would forget to charge it. So yeah, but it does work really good with the Clarisonic. And if I have a lot of eye makeup on, or a lot of really heavy makeup, I like to use coconut oil first, and I'll just massage that all over my face to break up the makeup, and then I'll go in with like whatever soap I'm using to further wash that off. And sometimes I'll do a double cleanse. So after, you know, I'll wash off the coconut oil, then I'll do it one more time just to make sure I've gotten all the makeup off. So that's kind of what I do if I have a lot of heavy makeup. But honestly, with this First Day Beauty, the Pure Skin Face Cleanser, this stuff will get a lot of your makeup off on its own. So a lot of times if I use the coconut oil, it's when I'm using the Dove Beauty Bar, or like I said, if I have a lot of heavy makeup. So after I get my face cleansed, then I go in with my face serum, and I love this Lancome Advanced Genifique Concentrate Youth Activating Serum stuff. This stuff is so good, and I know that this stuff is super expensive. So it's like an investment whenever you buy this. And I know they have several different sizes, so maybe if you're not really sure if you're gonna like it or not, get it in the smallest size and wait until Sephora has one of their sales, like the spring sale or the sale in the fall. And I know that they've been kind of sprinkling in other sales in between. So yeah, that's what I would recommend on that. But this stuff lasts forever. I've had this since the summer and I still haven't went through it yet. And this is the 2.5 fluid ounce bottle. So, you know, you'd think it would take a long time to go through, or you would think it wouldn't take very long to go through this, but you really don't need much of it. And the way that this is designed with the lid here, whenever you screw it on, it like sucks the serum, or it pulls the serum up into the little dropper there, and that is the right amount for you to use for your whole face. So that's another reason why you don't overuse it, because it puts exactly what you need into the dropper. And then for my nighttime under eye cream, I love this Lancome Advanced Genifique. I don't know how to say this. Yux. I know that the Y's are pronounced Jux. I don't know. I took French in high school, so you would think I would know all this, but I'm so terrible with pronunciation, so I'm so sorry. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. But this is my favorite under eye cream for the evening. It is super moisturizing, not irritating, and I do feel like when I use this consistently that it helps to plump up that area, so it helps to make your fine lines like less visible. And if you use a really good moisturizer, sometimes that's just half the battle. You know, if your under eyes are dry, it can make them look older than, you know, what they really are. Like, it can just really accentuate fine lines. So I do highly recommend this under eye cream, and also this stuff lasts for a long time too because you need the smallest amount. So I'm interrupting this video. I was in the middle of editing this and I realized I totally forgot to mention my best nighttime moisturizer. This is the First Day Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. This cream is formulated to help hydrate dry, parched skin, relieve minor irritations due to eczema or other conditions. If you are prone to eczema or just have super sensitive skin, I highly recommend this. Like, anytime that I would have, like, you know, a flare up or something like that, this just felt so soothing. And like I said, it's super moisturizing. So if you don't like a heavy cream, you probably would not like this, but I love a good heavy moisturizer at night. Those are my favorite skincare products for this year of 2018. I just loved those skincare products so much. They are just my favorites. Okay, so on to makeup tools, which this product here, you could consider this skincare, but I consider this more of a makeup tool because the way that I use it, I usually do my eyeshadow before I do my foundation. So if I have any fallout, I like to use this stuff to clean up. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gentle Cleansing Lotion for sensitive skin. So I'll just put a little bit of this like on a Q-tip or like on a cotton little round thing, and then I'll just clean up underneath my eyes. Also, sometimes too, I'll just use my under eye cream, but since under eye creams are expensive, I don't really like to do that because I don't want to waste it. So I got this, and this is a good alternative to that. You guys know that one of my favorite makeup sponges is the Real Techniques makeup sponge. There was several others that I discovered this year that I absolutely fell in love with. The Flower Beauty makeup sponge, that one is also really good. It has like a, I'll insert a picture so you guys can see what it looks like because I don't currently have it, but it has a unique shape to it, and that sponge is just so soft. It's even softer than the Real Technique sponge. Sometimes the Real Technique sponge can be a little like dense when you first use it, and then once you've been using it for a while and the soap kind of breaks the sponge down, it makes it, you know, softer. But I love the Real Technique sponge because I love this flat edge. I love just how smooth this sponge is. So it gives you a really flawless finish. I like how it has the little pointed end. I also like the L'Oreal makeup sponge. That one is also really good, super soft. And then with the Real Technique sponges, I love their little mini Miracle Complexion sponges for under eye concealer, or sometimes just blending out like a cream highlight or something like that. And then they also have this one here, which I use on occasion, that's like the medium size one that you can use for blushes. So those are all of my favorite makeup sponges, and I don't really use makeup brushes for my foundation. I'm pretty much just a makeup sponge type of girl. So I don't really have any foundation brushes that were my favorites for 2018 because, like I said, I don't really use makeup brushes for foundation. My two favorite brushes for bronzing, the Real Techniques powder brush and the Morphe R2. Now the Morphe R2 is a little smaller, so it's a little bit more precise. Whenever I want a more precise application for my bronzer, I'll use this. Whenever I just want to look super bronzed, I'll use this brush. So I tend to use this one a little more in the summer and this more in the winter because, you know, I like to look more bronze in the summer. For contouring, my absolute favorite brush for contouring is the Real Techniques Sculpting brush. I use this all the time to do my contour, and I'll even use this to contour down the sides of my nose, up here on my temples, on my jawline. It's just the best contour brush. Like, it is so soft and it has the right amount of bristles, so it makes it easy to blend out. Like, they're tapered really nice, so highly recommend this brush for contouring. And then for blush, I have two blush brushes that I tend to use the most. I mean, I have some other blush brushes that I do use and I do like, but if all of my makeup brushes are clean, these are the two that I reach for the most. This is my Sigma F40 brush. I just like this brush because it doesn't pick up too much blush at once. Like, it picks up just the right amount of product, and the way that the bristles are just spaced out and tapered, it does such a good job of blending out blush well. And that's kind of the same reason why I like this e.l.f. brush. The only thing is with the e.l.f. brush, it's a little smaller, so sometimes it puts the blush down just a little bit more concentrated, but it also does a good job of blending out the blush. And so yeah, these are just my two favorite blush brushes. I love a good angled blush brush. I love a good angled brush for blush. My favorite brush for setting my powder and my foundation is the e.l.f. powder brush. This thing is just so good. Since it is flat, you can just press the powder in and not disturb your foundation. I don't really like to buff my powders on because I find that sometimes it can disturb the foundation and just make things look a little patchy. So this is just my favorite powder brush. For highlighting, I have two brushes that I use the most for highlighting. And I also have the Sigma one like this that I use a lot, but this Morphe M438 is cheaper than the Sigma one and it works exactly the same. The only difference is the Sigma brush is just slightly a little softer. If I want more of a precise placement, I like to use this brush. This brush here, which is the Real Techniques contour brush, I like to use this when I want my highlight to be super blended out. So this is a brush I use today to do my highlight. And I just love that. I love so many of the Real Techniques brushes for the face, as you can tell. For eyeshadow brushes. Now, if like all of my eyeshadow brushes disappeared, these are the ones that I would run out and buy first. These are the ones that I use basically on an everyday basis, depending on what kind of makeup look I'm doing. If I do something super simple, I might not use all of these brushes. But yeah, so my two favorite brushes for applying lid shades, the Sigma concealer brush, I think this is the F70, and also the Wet n Wild small concealer brush. So I don't really use shader brushes a whole lot anymore to apply my lid color, just because I find that concealer brushes are just tapered more on the end. I can be more precise in my application. So those are my two favorite shader type brushes. For inner corner highlighting, I love this e.l.f. Professional Definer brush. Like, it fits so nice here in the inner corner or also underneath your brow. For smudging eyeshadow on the lower lash line, these two brushes are basically dupes to each other. So if you didn't want to spend the money on the Sigma one, get this Morphe, but this is the Morphe M431 and the Sigma Pencil E30 brush. For blending brushes, I have several blending brushes that I use on a daily basis, but this Morphe M513, I love this for blending eyeshadow just like on the crease. So normally when I first do my eyeshadow, I'll use this to just blend whatever crease color I'm using. When I want the crease color to be a little bit more precise, I'll go in with this Morphe M433 brush, and this is really good, like I said, for doing a little bit more focused crease color, and also you can turn it on its side and blend in the outer V. It's a good outer V blending brush, And this brush is a dupe to the Sigma E25 blending. So I use these brushes interchangeably for the same thing, but I love both of these and would recommend either one. For a more precise outer V and crease brush, I have fallen in love with this Morphe M506 brush. Like, I cannot do my makeup without this brush. It's just so nice and just so precise, but at the same time, it blends the shadow out. I love to use a brush to apply my eyeshadow primer. I know that some people use their fingers, but I guess because of my nails, sometimes it's hard for me to get here in this inner corner to blend eyeshadow primer out. So my favorite brush, I love the Sigma Precision Round P82, and I don't know where the other one is, but it's the Sigma, it's the angled one like this. I use both of those brushes interchangeably to apply eyeshadow primer, and it's like, just poke myself right in the nose. It's like using your finger, you know, you don't have to worry about your finger getting all dirty. I have one more makeup tool that I wanted to mention because I use this a lot in my videos and I absolutely love this little tool, but this is the Ramona color switch, and I know that you could just use like a paper towel or, you know, a towel or something like that to wipe your brush off, but I do feel like this gets it a little bit more clean. This is just like a dry brush cleaner. So, you know, if you're going in with like if you went in with a light eyeshadow and then you went in with a dark and then you wanted to go back in with a lighter eyeshadow, so you needed to get the darker color off, you just go in with this and just go, you know, back and forth. And then, I mean, it doesn't get it completely clean, but it gets it mostly clean. So it doesn't, you know, muddle up your eyeshadow. So I love this thing. And all you have to do to clean it is you just take it out and just, you know, use soap and clean it under water, which I need to clean this. It's getting kind of dirty. So yeah, those were all of my best in beauty for 2018 for skincare and makeup tools or makeup brushes. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this first video. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what your best in beauty for skincare and makeup tools, what they were for you, or maybe if we had some of the same. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope that you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. Mwah.
In about 5 minutes, I'ma self-destruct. 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 In about 5 minutes, I'ma self-destruct.